Hello, everyone. Oh, I need to adjust my camera. There we go. I've been fiddling around with it this morning. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. That would be great. And if you're watching on Facebook, I've popped up a little poll on the screen. So if you could vote in that, that would be great. I've kind of had one of those Mondays where I've been looking at like all the metrics, all the stuff that I do, all of the like lives, the videos, the podcasts, looking at the data and just kind of being like, okay, where do we need to adjust? Where do we need to change things? I'm also not sure if comments are working because they've gone and they've changed the blimmin' the Facebook Stream Deck thing, which is to say, I don't think the comments are working, which is really annoying. So if someone can just comment, just so I'm sure you guys have left a comment already. But if one of you guys can just comment and just so I can test it. If you're watching on Facebook, that would be great, just so I can figure out what on earth is going on. Vote on the poll, just kind of like test it out and just see. But today we are doing a very, very chilled Q&A. So this is your chance to ask any question you want. It can be, and I have my tea here as well, it can be about SEO, it can be about how to market, it can be talking about Instagram Reels, it can be talking about going live, it can be talking about how to grow your business, it can be talking about anything you want. I just thought that I would hop on just on a very chill Monday. I think everyone's kind of a bit like today and a bit more relaxed, so I thought I'd go along with that. Oh, thank you guys for leaving me a comment. Yes, I can see comments. Okay, good. So they've fixed that then. That's good, because for about 6 months the comment module didn't work and you used to have to open it up in a new tab. So yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like you just gotta figure it out somehow. Brilliant. Okay, cool. So I gather you can hear me and see me okay. That should be my other question. So gather your questions. What questions do you have? I literally do not have any kind of bullet points, any kind of, I don't want to say script because I don't really script because scripts are an absolute mare, but anything you want to ask, hit me with it, because I just really wanted it to be a very chill thing. It says I've got 8 comments, but I can only see 4. So crying out loud. Let me just refresh it on the group, and I don't know, I might have missed. Yeah, I'm missing comments. Let me just see, I've got 4 on here and I've got 8 on my screen. How freaking annoying is that? But I can't do what I used to do, the fix I used to do. So I'm just gonna have to do it on my phone. So what I'll do is I will mount my phone on my little dock thing here, and hopefully I'll just have to like do a bit of a weird janky setup where I'm looking here, I'm looking there, but you guys don't mind, because I can only see 4 comments on my screen. I've got one from Karen, one from the team, one from me, and one from Arthur's Craft Corner. That's it. So what I'll do is I'll just do it on my phone. I guess that's like the easiest way to do this, right? Right, I'm gonna go to Instagram first. The Pottery Tree says, I don't currently sell on Etsy, but I would like to. How do you look credible as a totally new seller? So I think with this, like, we all start from zero, right? We all have that moment where I don't want to say we look bad, but I kind of get what you mean. It's sort of that gist where it's like, oh, I don't want to look like novice. I don't want to look, and I think like the unfortunate thing is that you are just going to have to break through that. You are just going to have have that month, 2 months, 3 months as looking very, very new, because the numbers don't lie on the top of your banner. Like, it is going to show 0 sales. It is going to show 0 reviews. It is going to show that you've been on Etsy since 2025. Like, it is going to show those things. There's nothing we can really do. I suppose the only other thing that you could do is you could actually screenshot other metrics. So let's say that you've had your own website for a year, 2 years, you've got some reviews on there, you've got some sales on there. You could screenshot that and put that in your shop banner. You could put it in your listing descriptions. Like, do what you can, but I think we have to just get really good at just accepting that, hey, you know what, we are going to look new for a wee while. So that's really my advice on that, is just, it is going to take time. Artist Craft Corner says, I'd love to talk about marketing. I'm really trying to promote my own website and social media. It's so slow. What tips would you offer? Oh, it's a loaded question for sure. I think my biggest tip, and it's actually a tip, and I've got loads of tips. I've got loads of social media episodes floating about. I don't know whether the team might, if they're about, able to pull up like 2 or 3 episodes to listen to, but I know you do listen to the podcast because you've told me before. So you might have already heard these, but I think like the number one tip that I would give based off of my own experience, especially this week, is don't overcomplicate it. I think for a lot of us, we really put a lot of emphasis on making everything look graphically stunning. And it doesn't need to be. I think, to be honest with you, a challenge that every single one of you could do this week to prove this, because you don't have to take my word for it, but to prove it, is to take a selfie of you, or if you're really like 9 out of 10 uncomfortable doing that, take a picture of your messy desk, of your messy floor, of your messy kitchen, workspace, whatever. Whack that up on stories and just say like, this is the reality of business owner, insert thing here, whatever it is that you sell, and just post that, and you're going to see that you get far more engagement on stuff like that than you do when it's hyper polished and hyper just like, you know what I mean, perfect. I really do believe that social media, it doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't. I think like us and me, myself, we've kind of fallen into that trap recently where we just want everything to look super polished and super perfect and super like, not even perfect, but like graphically stunning. And it doesn't need to be. And like, I know for me, I'm doing some work behind the scenes of like undoing that now, you know, of kind of going, you know what, no, we're gonna strip it back, we're gonna go back to basics. So I think for me, like what I would advise you is to just show up messy and just show up imperfect, show up with zero makeup on, show up with your hair not done, show up as you are. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable AF for the first 10 minutes after you post that first imperfect content piece. But I think after then, you're going to look back and you're going to go, okay, like I've broken through that initial wave of emotions where I'm like, so I would just try that. My other thing as well, my third thing is, are you in the SMS? Because that is really, I'll bring it up on screen just so I've got some, I'm trying to look at my keyboard, but my mic's in the way. Let me give you some frame of reference. I'm pretty sure you would have seen it before. But we actually do have share screen, SMS. We actually do have a social media membership where we do social media for you. Like we literally give you the strategy, we give you the templates, we give you every single thing that you need. Let me just scroll down to this list. Here we go. $34.99 a month, which works out like £1.16, I think, quick math, a day. And it just means that everything is done for you. And the templates are amazing. They're really, I don't know what the word is, but they're done in a way that you can sell your products without selling your products, which sounds bizarre, but we talk a lot about how you intertwine your product with whatever your target customer is doing at that moment. So obviously now it's autumn, people are thinking about pumpkin spice and Halloween, and like, you know, maybe Christmas is kind of hovering around in the distance, but now we're all about cozy, comfy, staying in, watching movies, making treats, baking cookies, pumpkin spice, all that kind of stuff. So it's really about, I've got a dog hair, it's like hanging around on my cheek and it's really annoying me. So it's all about intertwining your products and meeting your target audience wherever they are at. And that is definitely something that the SMS does really, really well. And the reason for that is so you are not actively just rocking up on social media and being like, hey, look at this new edition. Yeah, go buy it. Or, hey, I have a sale running. Go and have a look. Or, hey, I have like, those kinds of posts only work if you have like nurtured your target audience and you have a lot of trust in the bank. If you don't, those posts are going to flop. And that's like pretty much a given. It's literally like showing up to a first date and being like, hey, I'm in a wedding dress. You know, like that episode with Phoebe, Rachel, Monica, where she opens the door and she's like, I do. It literally gives me that vibe. So yeah, I just thought I would show you this. It's I'll put the link in the Duba Flip, just so you've got it. Comments are still not coming through. Luckily I've got it on my phone, but how hilarious is this? All right, cool. So that's the SMS. Lots of people who are in it absolutely love it. And it takes all of that off your plate. All you need to do is open the template, click and drag, download, upload to Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, and then you're done. That's it. Right, let me just have I'm just have a little sip of my tea. I'm just going to check on Instagram as well. Thank you for answering my question. You are welcome. Arthur's Craft Corner, that's a great idea. Thank you. Yeah, I do feel like a lot of us overcomplicate it, and I really don't think it has to be that deep. There are a few things, like don't get me wrong. Social media, it's an art form in the way that you have to understand the psychological triggers that get people to take action, aka having really good hooks, having really good call to actions, making sure that your captions are stellar, making sure that your hashtags are on point. Yes, I know, like, it's not the be all and end all anymore, but they're still important. Making sure to use the right keywords, all those kinds of things. Making sure your engagement, your watch time, everything is up there, because these are all the signals that the algorithm wants. It doesn't matter what platform you're on, to basically tell them that, hey, more people want to see your stuff. And this is the kind of stuff that the SMS takes care of. You don't have to worry about it. It's kind of just done. How to sip my tea. I'm thinking of going away from my website as I'm paying but getting no sales and moving over to Etsy altogether. What are your views? Or you've like opened the pot now. So for me, I see this, no joke, all the time. Like, all the time I get emails, DMs, comments, Facebook group posts. I mean, you might have seen it in the group, but I get questions like this all the time, where what happens, I'm not sure whether this is your journey, but this is it tends to be the general gist of what happens, right? You get a shop that starts on Etsy, they get a few sales and they're thinking, yeah, okay. Then they look at their fees and they're like, oh my God, like there's like 20%, 25% of my earnings are gone in fees. Then they go, okay, I know, I'm going to go on my own website because I have more control. I can do more with my branding. I can sell what I want. It's less like upfront fees, blah, 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 blah. Then a month, 2 months, 3 months, six months, a year goes by, and they realize that, okay, yeah, the reason why I'm paying Etsy fees is because they are literally dropping me in front of millions of my ideal client. That's what I'm paying for. And I think it just comes from a bit of a reframe of, what do those fees actually mean for me? And I know, like, Etsy fees are a pain in the ass. They really are. And sometimes you look at like your bottom line and you're like, oh geez, like I have to adjust my pricing because obviously I'm not charging enough. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. And I think, like, for that, my general rule of thumb is that your cost of doing business will always be around the 20 to 25%. I don't want to call them fees, but that's how much each sale is going to cost you. Reason is that A, it might be Etsy fees, or B, if you have your own website, it's going to be, maybe you're putting a lot of energy, time, money into SEO, creating blog content, social media stuff, actually putting a lot of time, energy, money into bringing those views to you, whereas Etsy, it's kind of done automatically. So you are going to be paying that, it seems, no matter where you sell. I was chatting to someone who does really, really well on not on the high street. And she was like, I'm paying like 30 to 35% fees. Like, I'm desperate to go over to Etsy because seriously, like, although I'm getting sales, I'm looking at my bottom line and I'm like, eesh. So I hope that makes sense. But I think, like, when you're first starting out, my golden rule, when you first start out, you have no audience, you have no one to sell to. We want to build that, which is why we have the SMS and all those kinds of helpful things. But you have to, as a business owner, get really good at knowing where to go and seek out your people, even if it's on a marketplace, a platform, someone else's audience, whatever that is. And I think that skill is really make or break, which is why Etsy for handmade business owners is like the perfect place to be, because that's where all our buyers are. You know what I mean? Let's have a little look. The team have put a couple of podcast episode for you. Karen says, I'm finding it hard with imposter syndrome and I can't seem to get away from it, especially when my sales are slow. I check other sales and I get into a spiral as to why, and pick holes in their listings and get worse because I've worked so hard. They come in, use 2 to 3 photos, mock-ups, cheap prices, and sell loads. Yeah. So I have an episode actually coming up for you. When is it coming out? Hang on, I'm just going to find it. 2 seconds. I'll find it. I'm going to answer it as well, but I think this might be quite a good one. It's coming up on the 19th of November. It's called Self-Esteem and Charging Your Worth. And we really do like a proper deep dive on this. But pretty well is that you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. That's my first rule, is you do not know. Straight up. They could have a social media audience of thousands. They could be spending hundreds on ads. Like, you don't know what the backstory is. You are looking at the outside view, like the shell, and like making judgments based on, oh, they're getting more sales, blah, blah, blah. You don't know, though, what their profit margin is like. They might be making like 10p per sale or £1 per sale or whatever, right? So I think for that, I would always say that what you see publicly online is a highlight reel. I know people say it about social media, and that's still true, but I think the business that you see is someone's curated version of what they want you to see. So Karen, I think that the very next time you do feel yourself getting a bit like, they're doing better than me, I think you got to try really hard to go, yeah, but you know, I'm only making judgments and connecting dots based on things that I see, but I don't know 100% if there's anything else going on behind the scenes. I'm just going to reread it again, make sure I haven't missed anything. I think when sales are slow, like I still do this to this day. Like if sales are a bit like, oh, or if I'm not feeling so good, it only takes me to show someone else on my feed. And don't forget, the algorithm is curated to show you more of the stuff that you do. So please don't ever think like, oh, there's so many other people out there doing better than me, because that's only your perception, because it's your algorithm that is showing you this stuff. Your next door neighbor doesn't even know that exists. So please don't think it's like this is what the world looks like, because that's what your world looks like, because that's what the algorithm looks like for you. Does that make sense? But yeah, like I do this myself as well. I think it's natural to be like, what am I doing wrong? What is going wrong? Do I need to be worried about this? I think like those 3 questions are a very, very common thing to do. And I think that for a lot of us, we have to just get very good at becoming aware when we're going into that spiral. It sucks. It really, really sucks. It does. But I just think that, yeah, it's just one of those things that is very tricky. And I think that we have to just keep reminding ourselves that this is not real life. What they are putting out online is not real life. Yes, they're getting the sales. Yes, they're like rocking up and having listings, but you do not know what's going on behind the scenes. They could be breaking a cardinal rule and next week get their shop shut down. I get this a lot when people say, oh, it's really frustrating that there are people selling like Harry Potter merch or Disney merch, and my listings got like taken down and now I can't sell them, but there are hundreds of other people. Well, that's fine. Like they want to run the risk. Their business is going to get closed down, and it might be a week, it might be a month, it might be a year, but their business is going to get closed down. Not only that, there are hundreds of people a day reporting them. Like everybody knows now that you can't do that. IP infringement is a real thing. So I think it might just be one of those things where if you need to go cold turkey and just put your blinders on and go, nope, I'm not gonna look, like that's it. I'm feeling insecure, I'm feeling bad, therefore I'm gonna stay away and I'm gonna like mute anybody and block anybody that I feel affects how I feel about things. I hope that makes sense. Hannah says, help please. I've created loads of listings, improving photos, titles, descriptions. You're utilizing eRank of doing A/B testing. So Hannah, the listathon was last week and the week before. It does take 60 to 90 days for the algorithm to see how people interact with these new listings and then kind of make a algorithmic judgment call as to where you go in the search results, if that makes sense. So it does take a lot of time. You also have to make sure, and I know I made this like really clear during the challenge, you can't just throw products up for product's sake. And if you followed the challenge to a T, I'm sure you haven't, but like the whole I can't remember what day it was, but the 6 degrees of separation, that means that your products that you're putting up, they are your products that sell the best for you with one or two things change. So if you've done that, it might just be a case of giving it time to settle down and see where it hits, because it doesn't take, like, it really it takes a lot more time than a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The general rule of thumb is 60 to 90 days. Algorithmically speaking, that's how long it takes for them to see how many people interact with them and what they do. Do they favorite it? Do they buy it? Do they scroll through it? Do they spend a lot of time on it? If the answer is yes, you get another notch up. If the answer is no, you get a notch down. So for that to happen, that takes time. You know what I mean? So I hope that makes sense. Right, I'm just making sure I can see comments. If you do have any other questions, let me know. I'm just have to sip my tea again before it goes cold. How many products do you need to launch with? That's a question that I do get a lot as well. There is no general rule of thumb, and obviously it does depend on what it is that you sell. If you're selling jewelry that's like 9-carat gold, you might only be able to afford to launch with 10 products. Whereas if you sell like digital downloads, everybody knows that you have to have a shed ton more products than your average Joe does. So I would say, again, it does really depend on what you sell. But if you sit in like the middle ground, I would suggest having an initial product collection of around 30. Because I think then 30 to 50 products, and by the way, I shouldn't say products, 30 to 50 listings. If you went along with the challenge, you know about the listing hats and all that kind of stuff. So 30 to 50 listings, it gives you a good baseline and gives you a much higher rate, much higher chance of one of them being bought, favorited a lot, like one really popping off. And that's what we want, because we want to make sure that we have some stats, some data, some evidence to say, okay, I listed 30 products and 2 are doing really well. So the very next time I create products, I need to create them like those 2 that I did before. Make sense? So it really depends on what you sell, but I would say a general rule of thumb, 30 to 50 products is good. I just want to make sure I've not like missed any questions on Facebook, because it's being such a annoying douchebag. What is the best app software you have used that has genuinely helped your business over the years? Do you know what? Over the years, I tend to swap and change a lot. And I think because technology is moving on so much, it's very tricky to kind of go, here's this one thing. I think if I was to say one thing, I'd probably say Canva. But then I feel like that's a bit of a cop-out answer, but it is like genuinely we use Canva every single day. to create products, to visually show things. I use it to draw, not just draw for fun, but like draw things out. We create whiteboards, we create flowcharts, we create social media with it. I edit with it. Like, there's so much that I do think Canva is one of those things that I've consistently used throughout the years. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to grab up my business finance sheet, because I know I've got names of like all different apps and things that I use. Let me have a look. I mean, there's GoDaddy, Active Campaign, which is how I do my email. I wouldn't recommend them though. They are, like, insert expletive here, I do not like them at the moment. Insurances, ManyChat, Kajabi, I've used that, but I don't think that would apply to you guys, because that's like where you host courses and stuff. I've used that for a number of years. Canva Pro is the one that I've had for the longest amount of time. Google Drive. I really like Veed, which is the video editing software that I use, but it does really, what I love about it is that you can just click a button and it edits your videos, it edits your reels, it edits everything for you, and it's just so good. StreamYard, which is how I'm streaming now, won't really apply to you guys, I suppose. eRank, Amazon Prime, unfortunately, Facebook ad spend, Calendly. That's it really, apart from like things that don't apply really. I mean, I'd say like the cop-out answer would probably be Canva. Sorry. Yeah, I hope that helps. I really love Canva. I really love Veed. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think the thing that you have to remember is that it's not going to be like a singular thing. We were having this chat the other day. I was doing a Rise call with Jane, and Jane asked, like, would you recommend eRank, Alora, blah 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 blah, like all these Etsy SEO tools? And the problem is that Etsy's kind of bringing out its own now, and I would always prioritize that over a third party thing. If you don't know what I'm on about, if you go to episode team, what's the episode number of the one where I give updates and talk about, because it's hidden, I can't see it. And now I can unhide it. Hang on. Can I unhide it? How do I do it? I can't use Excel. How do I hide it? Jane, can you just grab the blimmin' number? There was an episode where I went over all of the changes, including this new SEO tool that Etsy has. And she's unhid it. Thank you. Let me scroll up. Here we go. Episode 82. It's called Etsy's 2025 Updates Explained, What Handmade Sellers Need to Know. If you haven't watched that yet, it's on YouTube and on the podcast. Have a little watch of that, because Etsy is basically in the very early stages of bringing out their own answer to eRank, Marmalade, Alora. The problem is that I'm sure a lot of you have found this, that you go onto eRank, you find searches, keywords that look great. Then you go on to Alora, they don't look so great. Then you go on to Google, they don't look so great. So I think for me, like, my favorite in terms of like SEO research tool is actually Keywords Everywhere. It's not an Etsy specific thing. It's a browser add-on that basically tells you across Google, Etsy, Pinterest, blah, 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 how many monthly searches that thing has. And I think that's really, really good, because it means then that you're not just trusting what one keyword tool is telling you. So many people just use eRank and just go, right, that's it, eRank, done, dusted. Like, I don't even need to check anywhere else. The problem with that is that you absolutely do, because, and it's a little bit sus why it is the case, but it is the case where there are going to be some keyword phrases that you go onto one tool, it's like, yeah, this is good. You go into another one, it's like, not so good. And you're thinking, well, hang on a minute. The search term is the search term. The search traffic should be the search traffic. And that's always concerned me, which is why I'm not affiliated with a single resource, a single, like I never take sponsored sponsors, I suppose. Believe me, I get asked multiple times a day, but I never do, because I don't want to be like working for, affiliated with some kind of tool and contractually not able to tell you the truth and tell you what I think about it. So that's the main reason why I don't. But I think keywords everywhere is great, because it works with multiple different places, and you can actually see what Google is telling you is the search traffic for that term. I don't know if you guys know, but if you type in what you sell on Google, the very top search results are always going to be from Etsy anyway. So I'm kind of like, well, fine. Definitely going to check out Veed. Canva is the best. I use it every day without fail for everything. Yeah, Canva is good. Sarah says, "Hi Steph, I'm doing a lot of listings for my best sellers. How do you keep track of them? Do you track them as item X for Christmas, Valentine's, etc.? So when it needs renewing, you can track the stats." Sorry, might be a stupid question. No, it's not at all. Do you know what? I don't track my listings. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I do not track them. The only tracking I do is when I'm doing like an A/B test, which I'm not sure if that's what you mean, or whether you're talking about like bookkeeping wise or inventory management wise, or kind of what context you sort of mean. But I do I have like an A/B test spreadsheet. So I'll be like, test number 1 started the 1st of October, will end the 1st of Jan, right? And I'll go, the test is the test listing is blah, 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 blah. That's it. But I'll only run like 5 to 7, maybe not even. No, I'd say 5. I do 5 tests every like quarter, like main tests. So therefore I don't need a lot of tracking involved, because I kind of I know off the top of my head, and B, I just use this really easy like spreadsheet thing. I'm just gonna read it again, make sure I haven't missed anything. So when it needs renewing, you can track stats. So I tend to track stats. I think I know what you mean now. I tend to track stats. So if you're in the HBSA and you've got to phase 3 and we give you the data sheet, you don't have to worry about that, because you track it every single Monday. We give you how you track it, what you need to look at, where you need to go, stats to track, where to put it. That's fine. You don't really need to worry about that, because that's all walked through. So if you're talking about like general shop stats, I would do that every week. If you're talking about like specific listing stats, I don't really track it, because I track it in the weekly one. Monday, I go through and I'm like, okay, what was my top 5 listings? So if you have something that's spiking, you're going to catch it in the weekly, as opposed to doing it any other way. Otherwise, you just find that you're doubling up on stats, and like, yeah, you've got multiple different spreadsheets for different things, but do you need that? I don't know whether that answers your question, or what context you mean in terms of tracking. But yeah, I would say that would be the better way to do it. We did this for the longest time. We were tracking like general business stats every single Monday. We had the KPI sheet, which is the same as what you guys get in phase 3. And then we were also tracking like launches and this and this and this. And I was like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing it two different places? It wasn't until like a year later that we were like, why we doesn't make any sense. So we scrapped one, and then we just kept one, and then now that's fine. Also as well, like side note, I find, because of my ADHD, I find numbers really hard. I find spreadsheets quite hard. If they have to be very like colorful, visual, they have to be doing a lot like for my eyeballs for me to be interested. So for me, I started tracking like my funnel stats through Canva, which I know is completely probably not the right thing to do or say, but I have to tell you, like, it's been a game changer, because I can visually see it. Whereas on a spreadsheet, it was a bit like, oh, I don't know what I'm looking at. Thank you. I haven't got to phase 3 yet. The A/B test was my question. So we do go over that within phase 3. And I cover, like, I've got like a whole bit on the A/B testing. Right. I'm going to say 2 more questions. So I'm going to be live for about 5 more minutes because I need my lunch because I'm starving. So let me know any more questions you have. Hit me with them. I know I'm looking like here and here, but I've had to put the Facebook chat on my phone because yet again it doesn't work. If only you could see the blimmin' the Facebook Stream Deck thing. Like, if only you could see that, yeah, it would be like you would just giggle and you'd be like, yep, that's Facebook for you. Abso-freaking-lutely. Right, I'm just going to open this up. I'm just gonna have to block someone from my chat, so I'm just doing that because it's a spammer. I get spammers too, guys. So I've just blocked that person so they can't bother me anymore. And I think as well, like going back to the question about like keeping your brain space nice and clean when you are in a bit of a rut with sales, I think don't be afraid to block people. And also don't be afraid to block people that you know either. Especially if you are doing social media and you're a bit embarrassed about, or like, my neighbor's going to see this, my friends are going to see this, my family's going to see this, they're going to make comments, it's going to be like a whole thing. Don't be afraid to just block them. And if they say anything, just say, you know what, I was just posting a bunch of business stuff and I didn't want to bombard you with it. Like, you know, word it as if it's for their benefit. So yeah, let me know if you've got any more questions. If you haven't got any more questions, that's no bother. Do not worry. But let me know if you do, because I'm now not convinced my Facebook chat is even working full stop now. So that's a bit annoying. But if you're watching on Instagram always seems to work fine, which is really annoying. So let me know any questions, hit me with them. We do have some really cool podcasts coming up for you though. We have one coming up next week and the week before, talking about email and how to market yourself via email. So if social media is a pain in the ass for you and you're like, I wish I could market my business without using social media, full stop. Like I just really wish that I didn't have to bother with reels, carousels, social media stats. Like, I struggle to like film B-roll and take selfies and do all of that. All I want to do is type words on the screen and make money. Then email has to be your BFF. And basically November is going to really be like social media marketing, social media. I just said that, didn't I? Email marketing month. And we're bringing out a really exciting resource for you guys. I'm going to be talking a lot more about email. I'm going to be talking a lot more about how to start it, how to grow it. It is still the best bang for your marketing buck, in terms of, for every, I can't remember what the stat is off the top of my head, but for every pound that you spend on social media, for every pound you spend on email, you get, I think it's like 30 or 36 pounds back. That's like the average. So email is still so super powerful. It's still so good for marketing your business. And if you are someone who hates social media, you are someone who really doesn't want to get involved with that, and you're getting frustrated with it, email is the next, well, I wouldn't say the next best thing, they're both on par really, but it is really that thing where it's like, yes, this is what we have to do. Right, I don't think I've got any more questions though, but keep an eye out for the 5th of November, which is next Wednesday. So not this Wednesday coming up, but next Wednesday, episode 87 and also episode 88, because we're going to be talking about how to get your first 100 email subscribers, which is really exciting. So thank you guys so much. I'm not sure if I'm missing any questions or not. I don't want to assume that I am or I'm not. Oh yeah, definitely getting frustrated with social and need email. Yeah, but I bet for you, I bet email is a bit of a like mind boggle, because I bet you're like, I want to do this, but how do I do it right? How do I make sure that I get subscribers? How do I make sure I know what to say? And basically, November, I'm going to be giving you everything you need to answer all of those questions. So we do have some really cool things coming up, and email is something that I've used consistently for years. And doing it the right way is actually easier than you think it is. And yeah, it's just so good. Anyway, I am going to hop off. I hope this has been helpful for you, though. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Very chill, answering your questions. Next Monday, I am going to be going live with, I can tell you in a minute, I'm going to yet another spreadsheet. I'm going to be going, next Monday. Yes, I'm going to be talking about how much money can an email list really make you. So I'm going to be breaking down the numbers. How many subscribers will you have? How much money will you make? So it's going to be a really cool one. It's going to be like breaking that down and being like, hey, like social media, we can't really do that. Email, however, we can drill it down, and we can actually look at, okay, how much per subscriber, monetarily speaking, should I get? So that's going to be really cool. All right, and my lovelies, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all real soon. Bye, everyone.